half an hour, I want to say, before we got out of our tents, it stopped. But luckily we were able to get up, get everything prepped, and head towards the summit. And that was around midnight.
Coolest thing about it, the snow was, we had about 2 inches of snow. Now the bad side of that is your feet get a little colder because you're walking on snow. The good thing about it is we also had a full moon. Full moon and having fresh snow, you didn't even need your headlamp. It was awesome. So you could see everything. You could see Namoshi in the distance. You could see where you're going. So we walked up to the summit, which was 4,000 foot incline in just 2 miles, which is pretty substantial. But we had no need for lighting whatsoever, so it was awesome.
And we got to about 16.5, and I remember that my feet were freezing, and I just wanted to move faster so my feet would stay warmer. And I told our lead guide that we have to move faster or we're stopping too much. And then we just kind of started cranking it up, and there's times where the snow got deeper and deeper, but we made our way up to the ridge line, and then from there it was, I don't know, I want to say another 300 to 500 feet, and you could see the summit. And then we got to a point, and John's like, I want to get a shot of you coming up to the summit. So he kind of takes off in front of me. I mean, I was tired, I was breathing hard. I was out of oxygen. But eventually I got there, and it was just amazing. I mean, it was cold and whatnot, and it was dark. The sun hasn't risen yet because it was still a little before 5 or around 5 a.m. And then, 10 minutes behind me, here comes Mark strolling up, and we're literally the first 3 people on the summit.
It was so emotional because you spent 5 hard days hiking with gear and all this stuff, and you're talking about climbing one of the 7 summits and getting on top of Africa and all this stuff, and it just, my body kind of took over, and I just got pretty emotional. I just started bawling when I was running, so I was like, it's pretty funny. It was just, I was a sad, happy wreck of a person at the time. But then we get to the summit, and I remember the summit just being the most beautiful thing I've probably ever seen.
It's just really, really emotional. I mean, it changed me. Like, to this day, I'm not the same person I was. The most beautiful sunrise I've seen yet. The clouds and the mountain just basically became one landscape.
It's more than just me. It's more than just mountains. It's for all you out there that live with cystic fibrosis every single day. It's for you that struggle to catch your breath like I'm doing right now. I stand here at 19,341 feet above sea level. It's so hard to breathe, and all I can think about is how hard it's for you to breathe every single day. Got off the mountain and headed back to Arusha. We still had 5 days. So while we were over there, we put some food back in our system. A couple days later, we were looking for an orphanage to go to. We had some toys, some clothes to take, and we found one.
They're all just looking up at you, and you're just hanging out there, and they start singing a song to us, like a welcome song, and it was in English. That was pretty impressive, and then we just started playing with the kids and playing soccer, and they're touching our arms, and they're just kind of blown away, and some kids are like grabbing your hands and then like holding your hands. And at first, like in America, that stuff doesn't fly. You don't just take a stranger's hand and hold their hand. But over there, it's like they just want some comfort. These kids are living by themselves in an orphanage without parents, so they were just looking for some comfort.
And then after the orphanage, we went back to our hotel, and we got a bunch of the footage that we filmed together and whatnot, and went on a 3-day safari to check out some of the other stuff that Africa had to offer.
One of the reasons I like doing it is it helps to preserve the land. It gives people jobs. It helps save the animals. So I was happy to pay to be part of that.
So after we did our 3 days safari, we had a lot of fun with that and got amazing footage. It was time to go home, and you hop back on a plane and you got to jolt back to America, which is a whole another adventure itself.
It's great to be back among all these things that you're used to, like a warm, comfortable home and a soft bed and clean water and showers whenever you want and all the food you can possibly eat. I mean, it's like we just have it so good, and it's such a great thing to feel like that. I mean, when you're grateful like that and you realize, like, when I flip a switch, a light comes on and I don't have to do anything else. I don't have to wait for a certain time of the day. Like, you know, you don't think about that all the time. But when you come back from a place like this and you're thinking about that, there's nothing else you need. It's definitely one of those things that, you know, I try to keep that feeling grateful as long as I possibly can.